For being with us on NFL Live. Oh boy, we got another game pick scrap. Look at us all tailgate. We got the shish kebabs going. Let's go. Marcus, is that your hand holding? I can't figure out where Mina is though. She's like in the back. She's in the tailgate.
Yeah, I got a wig.
All right, enough of that. It's
well,
so
we
much
all
fun
know
though.
I'm cooking.
Yeah, you are. Let's get some game picks for Sunday. RC, Steelers in Green Bay against Rodgers. Who you got?
Well, you know I'm a Steeler till I die, so you know who I'm picking. The Green Bay Packers. Listen, the Pittsburgh Steelers, they just don't have it right now. Listen, you can't block up front. You can't protect Ben Roethlisberger. You also can't create any inverted line of scrimmage for Najee Harris to get the run game going. They just aren't good enough right now. And we watched Aaron Rodgers get that old thing back in San Francisco, so him and Devontae Adams will be rolling.
Mina, Browns and Vikings. Who wins?
I have the Browns, but I don't think it's going to be easy because as we saw last week at the Vikings upsetting Seattle, nearly upsetting Arizona the week before, they have a very good offense. The problem is I don't think Minnesota's defense can stop the run, and of course the Cleveland Browns have the most devastating rushing attack in the NFL.
Yeah.
Marcus, Carson Wentz of the Colts still winless. Do they get their first win in Miami?
I want to say yes, but I'm not going with the Colts. I'm going with the Miami Dolphins. Jacoby Brissett wants some revenge. And you look at this defense for the Miami Dolphins, I think they turned Carson Wentz over at least once or twice in this game, especially with the potential of him being hampered. I like the way this Dolphins team is playing, especially with Jacoby Brissett. And that's not an indictment on Tua. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're in trouble for that one. Hey, it's okay, though. Let's go back to last night. Joe Burrow and the Bengals hosted the Jaguars on Thursday night. Comeback was on in this one. Fourth quarter, the Bengals are down by 7, but Joe Burrow says no problem finding C.J. Uzoma. He runs in for his second touchdown of the game. The Bengals tie the game at 21-all as part of this comeback. Next Bengals possession, it's the same score, 3rd and 1 from their own 31, and Burrow is sacked for a loss. The drive looks to be over, but there's a flag for holding on the defense, so first down for Cincinnati. Urban Meyer's like, what's going on here? All right, later in the drive, Bengals on the Jags 46, 2nd and 14. Marcus loves the play call. Once again, that connection great all night long. Burrow loves it. They're now in field goal range, so Evan McPherson for the game-winning field goal attempt. 35-yard kick is good, and the Bengals come from behind to win 24-21 at home. Let's get some quick reads on this game. RC, what'd you see from Joey B?
Listen, Joe Burrow went into the locker room at halftime. He put the ski mask on, and he came out about that action. Started right away with the big bomb to Jamar Chase, and then he hits Uzomah on the boot. Also, later on in the game, the big 3rd down throw to Tyler Boyd when it was great coverage. And then we got to see him move around a little bit, show us that this knee is healthy, this knee is fresh, and make a huge throw late in the game to the tight end again for another touchdown. Lead the drive for the field goal. Joe Burrow is a dude, and he showed that in the second half last night.
Mina, how about Trevor Lawrence in the loss? They were winning the game for a while.
Yeah, if I was a Jacksonville fan, I'd be really happy with what you saw out of Trevor. Or rather, what you didn't see was interception, turnover-worthy plays, unforced errors. You saw a quarterback who took care of the football instead of pressing, checked down to his legs, and then made some of those special throws we're accustomed to seeing throughout his college career. I think this is Trevor Lawrence's best game yet.
Oh, wow. The Jaguars were the closest they've come to a win this season on Thursday night. They led 14-0 to the half, as I mentioned. A lead that could have been 21 if not for a failed goal line, 4th and 1. 35-yard field goal as time expired. And here's Urban Meyer after the game.
That's devastating, heartbreaking. You know, these guys, usually I'm not wrong about stuff like that I just see a good team in there. I see good guys, and I see good hearts. I see guys at work. And I told him I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong about that stuff. And this team's going to win some games.
Marcus, you see anything you liked from Urban Meyer last night?
You know what? It's easy for me to rail on coaches. Y'all know that. But I thought Urban Meyer summed that game up perfectly because that team, Jacksonville, played well. But this is not the first week in a row. This is the second week in a row. They played against the Cardinals, played a good game for a large majority of that game against the Arizona Cardinals as well. When you think about a young team, though, you want them to get over the hump so you can get some of that juice going. And that's what Urban Meyer is talking about, especially when those guys thought that they would be able to close that one out against the Bengals.
Yeah, last night as we were watching the game, we're all going back and forth like, oh, all right, Trevor Lawrence, all right,
Yeah.
Jaguars. And it felt like something special.
El Boogie, yeah. It's amazing how these quarterbacks can develop while they playing the damn game, huh? I mean,
crazy.
My goodness.
And when they have the
Really?
right scheme.
Really?
All right, guys, enough of that. Let's get Adam Schefter in here for the DraftKings Daily Fantasy lineup. Adam, who made your roster this week?
Well, Laura, this is normally we're going to fill out his DraftKings fantasy
Yes.
lineup for him and take over and see if we can exceed what he normally does. We're going to start with Russell Wilson at quarterback and spend up on Russell Wilson, being that he's never lost 3 straight games during his NFL career. He's got a San Francisco team missing some cornerbacks. Russell Wilson figures to have a big day on Sunday. Tyler Lockett hasn't practiced much, but he should be able to go, and DK Metcalf will be out there. And Russell Wilson usually plays pretty well against the Seahawks. We also have Devonta Smith, the Eagles wide receiver, who should be in a matchup where he has to catch passes and score points against the Kansas City Chiefs. And at tight end, we're going to spend down and go with the Carolina Panthers tight end, Tommy Tremble. Keep this name in mind, Tommy Tremble. He's a guy that I think will be a factor this season. A young tight end, made some plays last game against the Houston Texans. I think the Panthers are excited about him, and one of the reasons they were willing to trade Dan Arnold this week to the Jacksonville Jaguars to get C.J. Henderson. Tommy Tremble makes the lineup that Field wishes he could have projected and picked out.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to definitely show Field this lineup next week, Adam, and if you end up being more right than Field is, that's going to be a real showdown. I don't know what we're going to do about that.
Let's show Field how it's done. Let's try to do that at least, and let's see what the results show, Laura.
I love it. Next on NFL Live, we have a live report from Tampa Bay.